Hello and welcome to this Junior Cycle for Teachers screencast. This is the first screencast for teachers of modern foreign languages. It has been developed to help teachers of MFL to explore and understand the 39 learning outcomes of the specification. There are handouts to support this screencast. If you're watching this screencast as a subject department, please select one member of the department as your facilitator of the meeting who will lead the discussions, and please ensure that all members of the department have the necessary handouts required for the activities throughout this screencast. They are available to download from our website www.jct.ie. This screencast explores some guiding principles of the MFL specification and aims to help you become more familiar with the strands and learning outcomes of the specification. Before we look at any particular learning outcomes, let's remind ourselves of some guiding principles that run through the specification for modern foreign languages. Learning outcomes are statements that describe what knowledge, understanding, skills and values students should be able to demonstrate having studied modern foreign languages in Junior Cycle. Please pause this screencast now in order to distribute the Learning Outcomes Planning Mat to each teacher and read through the 39 learning outcomes with a view to identifying knowledge, skills and values. If working as a department, you might like to divide into different groups, all looking at different aspects, with perhaps one group exploring knowledge or content, another skills, and another values. You may have noticed that some learning outcomes involve more higher order thinking than others. Take a moment now to consider the cognitive demand of the verbs being used at the start of each learning outcome. The learning outcomes of the MFL specification are broadly aligned to the A band of the Common European Framework of Reference, and as set out here, they represent outcomes for students at the end of their 3 years of study. The learning outcomes describe clearly what students will be expected to achieve and should be able to do in the target language. They refer to specific domains of language use, such as public, personal, and educational, which are appropriate to the student's age and experience. You may pause the screencast now in order to distribute the descriptors and read through the A1 and A2 band in more detail. Junior Cycle Modern Foreign Languages are offered at common level. The learning outcomes set out in the following tables have therefore been developed as unconstrained outcomes to apply to all students. No one person develops all of these unconstrained skills at the same time or at the same degree. We are all different. When students learn at a common level with multiple methods and modes of assessment in place, it allows for differentiated teaching, learning, and assessment. Please pause the screencast now to discuss as a group how learning outcome number 2.6, identify, share, and explain their preferred language learning strategies, can be accessed by students of varying levels of ability. The 39 learning outcomes are organised into 11 elements around 3 strands of communicative competence, language awareness, and sociocultural knowledge and intercultural awareness. They are developed in an integrated way, It is important to keep this integrated nature in mind when planning with learning outcomes. We leave you now with some key messages regarding the specification for modern foreign languages. Learning outcomes are statements that describe what knowledge, understanding, skills and values students should be able to demonstrate having studied MFL in Junior Cycle. Junior Cycle MFL is broadly aligned with the A band of the Common European Framework of Reference Descriptors, and learning outcomes are offered at common level. They have been developed as unconstrained outcomes to apply to all students. They lend themselves to differentiated teaching, learning and assessment. Thank you for watching this screencast for Modern Foreign Languages.